What is going on, YouTube? It's Jay Coffee Talk, tapping back in with another one, guys. And I wanted to talk to everyone about this shooting or multiple shootings by Robert Aaron Long. You see him pictured right here, 21 years old, arrested, currently charged with 8 counts of murder, 1 count of aggravated assault. He went into some spas, and there's all these discussions going on right now regarding if this was indeed a hate crime. Congress held a hearing about this, talking about it, and there's just a lot of discussions. I wanted to see what everyone out there thinks about this. Now, first off, just a comment that I want to add. Like John Wilkes Booth, right? Assassin who killed the president. Like, whenever there's these assassins or people, you know what I mean, gunmen, they're always known by their first, middle, and last name. Like, we already know this, but I don't know. It's just, I wonder why that is exactly. I'm just throwing that out there as this just happened, and he's already being referred to in the news that way. It just feels, I don't know. Hit the comments, let me know what you guys think about this. But there's a lot of discussions. As I stated, a lot of people are upset because in some press conferences where the police, in Atlanta were speaking on this, they were saying that they're still investigating the motives and the fact that it's different shootings, multiple incidents, that they have to investigate them individually and then, go over everything, with a fine tooth comb and figure it all out. And there's just so many questions too, as they're saying, that I don't want to say they said that it wasn't a hate crime exactly, but it's like they're trying to push the narrative away from that. And a lot of people are upset about that, especially a lot of Asian people, have been, like as you see here, this says a vigil in Chinatown neighborhood of Washington, D.C. on Wednesday remembered the victims of the Atlanta shootings, which included six women of Asian descent. So I believe there was 8 victims, and of the 8, 6 were Asian. I believe the other 2 were Caucasian. And I don't know, there's just so much going on regarding this. Wack100 here chimed in on his Instagram, and he said he shared this little graphic here. You see it says anti-Asian violence resources, and then it says anti-Asian racism and violent attacks on Asian elderly have only increased in recent months since the crisis has been going on, became news in the U.S. Hate speech and violence against the AAPI community has run rampant. In February 2021, attacks, particularly on elderly Asian Americans, have spiked. Unfortunately, many of these incidents are not being reported and are invisible to major media outlets. We hope to change this by offering the following resources with our community. Please join us in taking action whether it's by educating yourself and others around you or donating to a nonprofit. And then he shared the following caption. He said, "This is not cool. We can't demand equality and respect and act the part of the oppressor. Hashtag Asian equality." Someone chimed in, commented, and said that the black community has their own problems. And, they just said, "I feel like we need to speak on the crime that takes place in our neighborhoods before we focus on any race." And Wax said, "I live in a multi-neighborhood. I might be the one and only look like me on my block, so F what you talking about. I represent people." And he says, "Black Lives Matter and Asian Lives Matter." And then this is a tweet. I'm apologize if I'm not getting his name correctly. Simu Liu. He was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show, um, Kim's Convenience, very popular show. It's, been streaming on Netflix. And, you know what I'm saying? It's been in the news headlines a lot lately because the show was prematurely canceled. It has a pretty big following. He tweeted regarding this and said it wasn't racially motivated, using quotes, said the killer after murdering 6 Asian women at targeted Asian owned business, one of which is literally called Young's Asian massage. We need to re-examine our legal definition of a hate crime because it is not working for us. So, as you see, he's saying this definitely is a hate crime. He believes, in his opinion, it should be, you know, this man should be charged with a hate crime. Now, from with the killer, as you see here, this picture, this was like a surveillance picture, and reportedly his parents saw this and turned him in, and somehow they have word. I don't know if it's from the killer himself, because it seems he's been talking. As you see, there's a lot of different information coming out, and it seems, you don't always hear exactly where each bit of info that you're hearing of comes from. You know what I mean? You just see the different headlines and the different things that that's you guys know how it goes. Like when the media outlets pick something up, each media outlet is kind of pumping out the same info. And word was that he was on his way to Florida to go kill some people in the sex industry that were one way. They haven't said exactly what it is, that who they were. These next targeted intended victims that it just says the pornography, the porno game or industry or whatever, as they're saying that these spas were also, you know, where some sex work went down. Like, I'm sure you guys know what I'm referring to. This is all allegedly. We're just talking here. I'm just curious to know what everyone thinks about this. But there's also reports too. The killer, I believe, is saying that he did this to stop temptation, that he had a sex addiction, and that he was like, I'm going to go kill these women to stop tempting other people who I guess are sex addicts like him, to go to these places. But honestly, that really makes no sense, right? Because there'll be just other, you know what I mean? Like, say there, and this is all, like I said, these are all allegations. None of this is fact. We're just talking. Say that these spas indeed did have that kind of activity going down, which there's reports to that he was a customer at these places prior to doing this in the past. And he had been hospitalized for this sex addiction, like I guess a sex addict rehab or something like that. Um, but I mean, say that is indeed truthful, and that is what was going on. Say one person quits or dies or something, I'm sure that there would be someone else to take that person's spot, right? I mean, I don't know. This is just a big confusing. But what do you guys think about this? Is this, in your opinion, indeed a hate crime? Um, you know what I mean? Do you feel that if it was, since the killer is talking, would he say that it was indeed a hate crime, that it was racially motivated? Because that's what I'm hearing, is he's saying it wasn't. So I don't know. I'm just curious to know what everyone thinks about this. As I stated, this is like dominating the news headlines right now. Everyone is talking about this. Once again, I just stated Congress is having like emergency meetings over this, speaking about this. And, what are your thoughts on discrimination against Asians in general? I mean, there's all kinds of discrimination that goes on in the country, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is a problem of racism towards Asians. I'm just saying I never personally lived in a community where there was like a high Asian population where, I seen it going down, but I don't doubt it one bit. I mean, people are mean. You know what I'm saying? People are mean. People like to make fun of other people. I don't doubt it one bit, but I'm just curious to know everyone's thoughts on all of this. I'll probably bring more content regarding this. I just, see everyone chiming in and speaking about this. So I wanted to get everyone's thoughts, everyone's opinion on this. There's also reports that he just bought a weapon, as he, like prior to doing this, that he had sought these places out, and as I said, been a customer at some of them reportedly. So I'm seeing that in the news as well, that he had just went and bought a gun. This guy's clearly mentally ill. If I mean, look what he did. why was he able to get his hands on a gun? So I'm sure we will probably hear some stuff regarding gun control and things of that nature. I'm interested to get everyone's thoughts on that, as well as that's a debate discussion that's been going on in our society for quite some time. When it comes to gun control, I really don't know where I stand. I do feel people should have guns. Um, you know, I don't know. It's a tricky situation, but I just kind of wanted to touch base with everyone on this and see what everyone's thinking. So please join the discussion. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you're new over here. This is Jay Coffee Talk, where we talk music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. And I'm gone.